Great chat with John Sally. If you missed any of it, go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/Rich Eisen Show. Please hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. And then you can also go down a wormhole. 5+ year history of our show is sitting right there. And that includes the time, I think it was about 3 some odd years ago when he came on this program, sat here in person.
Studio,
it was great to see him in person. And now his hit show, Dave, on FXX. Season 1 finale is tomorrow night. It airs the next day, streams the next day on Hulu, where the streaming numbers have been off the charts, over 5 million more per episode. And the man himself, Lil Dicky, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Right here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, bud? How you been?
I'm good, man. How are you, Rich?
I'm better for talking to you. The number of people when we was at episode 4, right, Chris?
Yeah, we're in episode 4, so we're co-stars with Dave.
We're co-stars with Dave Burd, AKA Lil Dicky.
You guys stole the show. You stole the show.
Well, you know what? It's very rare that I ever scream the words out that you and Jeff Schaefer, the creator of the show, asked me to scream out. So I don't know. I kind of stepped out of my shell a little bit on that one, Dave.
You handled it with poise, though. I honestly thought you did a perfect job. We kept saying, thank God for Rich, because he really did the perfect thing for that montage.
I appreciate that. How has this all worked out for you, man? This has been quite something. I wonder what it's like from your perspective.
Well, honestly, it's been hard for me to, really soak it in, because only, Saturday did I hand in the season finale, and up until, Saturday, I've just been working on every episode, almost up until a week before the episode comes out. So it's I've been kind of just still really working hard on it. And only the past 3 days do I feel like a free man and able to soak it all in. But it's definitely a dream come true. I'm very happy that, even as a guy, I'm a huge TV fan, and some of my favorite shows ever, I didn't even find out about until their second or third season. You know what I mean? So it's TV's kind of weird like that. So I'm very happy that people are already watching early.
Okay, so how real to what this is in your life? This is a fictionalized version, but tell me what's real on this. What's close to real?
It's definitely some things are word for word exactly how they happen. Some things are loosely based. Some things are totally fictitious. It's very all just kind of a hodgepodge. But I don't know if you want to talk about something that's specific. I really was born with a penis that needed surgery. My hype man Gator really does have bipolar disorder. There's a lot of things that I could say that's real. And things that I could say that's kind of based on something that really happened. And the things that I could be that never happened. But man, it would be funny if it did.
So Gata in the show is your real life hype man, right? And
yeah.
So how did you know he could act, Dave?
I had a hunch. If you meet this guy, anyone who meets him's wow, who the heck is that guy? He's a character, he's very dynamic as a person.
Yes.
And he almost carries himself like he is famous before even being famous. People kind of thought he was famous, just because of how he was. So he's just you just know people where I never acted either. So it's how did I know I could act? I just knew I was a charismatic person that, was capable. And I felt the same way about Gator.
Well, you knew you could act. How does one become Lil Dicky? The story is pretty impressive. The real life story about how you started off and started out, for those who may not know, can you recount how you did your first couple videos?
Yeah, so my whole life I wanted to be a comedian. That was my number one dream, and I thought, how can I get noticed for being funny? And I didn't know anybody in the entertainment industry to hand a script to. I didn't know how to make a scene or a sketch or something. But I had the software on my computer to make music, and I always kind of rap growing up. And I didn't see many people doing funny rap music, so I started rapping just to be noticed to be a comedian. And the rapping just got better and better. And it caught up to the comedy side of it to where I've become in my mind I feel like I'm one of the best rappers in the world. And I put my first video online, and I've been working on it for 2 years without showing anybody. And I finally was ready to put my first video out. And the second I posted it, it went to it went viral. It got 1 million views in the first 24 hours. So that day will always kind of be the best day of my life, because I feel like it's the day that I really learned I am who I thought I was. and it's an irreplaceable feeling.
So but the way you shot it though, didn't you like walk up to people's doors and say, "Can I use your house, use your boat, use your," didn't you?
Yeah, that was another video. That video came about a year after that first video. That was called Save That Money. And that was my first like big mainstream, like all the first videos I did, I didn't even know anybody that made music. So I had to like go online and steal other rappers' beats and like make songs over like a Drake beat or like, you know what I mean? Like stuff that I didn't even own the rights to that I couldn't even monetize. And I finally like got enough of a following to where producers could send me beats, and like that Save That Money song you just referenced is one of my first original songs and probably my first big mainstream moment. Like the first stuff that I put out was like very internet-y, but Save That Money was like on the radio, and like I pretty much made a whole music video for completely free by just like talking people into letting me use their things.
Yeah, and Fetty Wap, Snoop Dogg, Chris Brown, Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, they all follow, correct, in your career?
Yeah, no, I mean,
this is amazing.
When you say it like that,
I left some out. Ed Sheeran, Shawn Mendes, Brain.
Yeah.
I've left a few out.
Yeah, there's a lot, I guess. No, I'm fortunate enough to where like I've, these people at the end of the day are like all just like normal people. So when I meet them, I think I just like establish a good rapport and relationship, and we stay in touch. And then if I need them on a song, I think they all trust my creative vision. So I'm just very lucky that everyone, I guess, seemingly believes in me.
You sure do. Lil Dicky here on the Rich Eisen Show, and yet we still have not been able to pull off the caper that I was trying to cultivate a few years ago, because you're a diehard Philadelphia sports fan, and at the time Andy Reid had just left for the Kansas City Chiefs. Trying to get you to do a rap song and video with Andy Reid called "Time's Yours," because that's how he always starts his press conference.
He's still on the "Time's Yours" video, huh?
You know what? I'm not going to give it up. I think it's too damn good.
He's still doing "Time's Yours" in Kansas City?
Every press conference, period, starts with him giving an update on injuries, and then looks at the gathered member of the media and say, "Time's yours." Every single one of them. He's been doing it, and now he's won a Super Bowl.
I was so happy when he won. No other team winning has made me that happy.
Because not even your own Philadelphia Eagles a couple years ago?
No other team winning. No non-Eagles team winning.
I see.
Brought me that joy.
Because of Andy Reid.
Yeah, I mean, that man deserves one. Like, I think he's one of the best coaches ever, and I don't know. My takeaway from Andy Reid is not one of failure in Philadelphia. It's one of like, oh my God, that man kept us relevant for like over a decade straight.
He sure did. What do you think of the current Eagles situation? I don't know how much you've been paying attention to it since you said you've been just focused on editing your show and putting it all together. But I don't know.
Are you talking about Jalen Hurts in the second round? Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. What'd you make of that one?
Yeah. Here's the reality: is I wanted CeeDee Lamb, so it's like that was my main goal going into it, and then add to the fact that the Cowboys got him. It's like a double whammy, and then Jalen Hurts in the second round. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. And I really don't. Even the rationale from Howie is like, I don't think he can. It's like, what is the best case scenario here? I don't know what it is. What is it? That Carson Wentz gets hurt and then you have a good backup? Because I just don't. I mean, which is, I guess, I don't know. It's frustrating because I just feel like we have more needs. But even if he does put him out 12 to 15 plays a game or whatever, and they run it like you use a second round pick on like a gadget player, I don't know. But maybe they know something I don't.
How about this? How about this? Let's have a conversation here about this, because that's the way the Eagles won their Super Bowl. Was Wentz couldn't answer the bell, and that the backup was so good, you got the biggest football moment of your entire life. And now here they are to try and make sure that if it happens again, they're prepared for it, and Eagles fans are wondering what's their malfunction.
Yeah, but I don't think Jalen Hurts is even going to beat out Nate Sudfeld for the backup. So it's like this guy's not even going to be the backup quarterback this year. And I like Nate. Like I think he is a good backup quarterback, and I believe in him. So then you're thinking, like, if he can't even be the backup this year, it's like, and I think we're in win now mode. I think we're trying to win right now.
By the way, that is a Lil Dicky hot take that Jalen Hurts won't even beat out Nate Sudfeld. That would be a problem, don't you think?
I think they love Nate. I think they really love Nate. I'm not even kidding. I think like they believe in him. He's been in their system for like 4 or 5 years. He got hurt last year, but people were loving him. And anytime I see him in the preseason, I'm very impressed.
So I guess before I let you go, where do you stand on the subject of Embiid and Simmons being able to play together?
I think they can. They're both too competitive and too good and elite. Like they're both like people always say like, oh, Ben, he's never going to shoot. It's like even if in a conservative mind space, if Ben Simmons doesn't start shooting jump shots consistently for another 5 years, like think about that. Not next year, 5 years from now, he's still only 28 years old at that point, and he's like, you know what I mean? So it's like he's so young that I don't know what the fuss is about. It's like he's going to start shooting eventually, and they're so chip on their shoulder like winners, I believe. And they were a lucky bounce away from maybe beating the champions last year. So I think they're in a good spot. They just need more shooters, and I don't think I don't think the issue is Embiid and Simmons. I think it's just like the pieces around them. And if they're not ready yet, then they're not ready yet. But like they're going to be ready, and in 3 years from now, they're both going to be like 26, 27 years old.
So you don't think it's an issue of them meshing with each other because that was the conversation before the season got postponed for the moment. That was the whole conversation.
No, I don't think it's an issue. I really don't, because they're both just lockdown defenders, and they need other pieces that complement them. But I don't think those two guys I think they're like a young Shaq and Penny.
So before I let you go, the season finale tomorrow night. Other than clearly a special guest appearance by Nate Sudfeld, what should we expect on tomorrow night's season finale, Lil Dicky?
I would say my main comment is expect the unexpected. Like I could give you like 10 million guesses as to what happens, even if you watched every episode, and you would never even come close to guessing it. It's like totally, you have no idea, and I think it's one of the most, insane, revolutionary things that's ever been put on television. I think it's like my masterpiece.
Well, it's just the first season. You can't peak too soon. You can't do that.
Well. It's going to be. I agree, but it's my masterpiece to this date, and it's going to be. I don't know. It's going to go down as a classic episode of television for sure.
Classic episode of television on FXX tomorrow night, 10 Eastern time. Thanks for joining. Thanks for calling in, man.
Thanks for having me, Rich. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Let's get you back on soon. Okay.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.